Fourth grade English, Chapter 1, Alice in Wonderland. Enjoy the story. Alice was beginning to get very tired and she had nothing to do. Her sister was reading a book, but it had no pictures or conversations in it. What is the use of a book that has no pictures or conversations? Suddenly, she saw a rabbit scamper by. He had pink eyes and was wearing a blue coat. He took out a big watch from his waistcoat pocket, and as he hurried away, he said, "Oh dear, I will be late." She thought there was something very different about this rabbit. He could talk. He wore a white waistcoat under his green coat and he carried a watch. Alice wondered, a talking rabbit? A rabbit who wears a waistcoat? Alice was burning with curiosity, and she started following the white rabbit. She ran across the fields after it, and was just in time to see it pop down a large rabbit hole under the edge. The rabbit hole went straight on like a tunnel for some way, and then dipped suddenly down. So suddenly that Alice had not a moment to think about stopping herself before she found herself falling down what seemed to be a very deep well. Down, down, down! Would the fall never come to an end? I wonder how many miles I have fallen by this time. She said aloud, I must be getting somewhere near the center of the earth. Let me see. That would be 4,000 miles down. Suddenly, thump, thump, down she came upon a heap of sticks and dry leaves, and the fall was over. Alice was not hurt a bit. She jumped upon to her feet in a moment, looked up, but it was all dark overhead. Before her was another long passage, and the white rabbit was still in sight. Hurrying down it, there was not a moment to be lost. Away went Alice like the wind, and was just in time to hear it say, as it turned a corner, "Oh, my eyes and whiskers! How late it's getting!" She was close behind it when she turned the corner, but the rabbit was no longer to be seen. She found herself in a long, low hall which was lit up by a row of lamps hanging from the roof. There were doors in the hall, but they were all locked. Alice tried to open every door, but none of them opened. She became sad, wondering how she would never be able to get out again. Suddenly, she came upon a little three-legged table made of solid glass. There was nothing on it but a tiny golden key. Alice's first idea was that this might belong to one of the doors of the hall. Alas, either the locks were too large or the keys were too small, and at any rate it would not open any of them. Suddenly she saw a little door about 15 inches high. She tried the little golden key in the lock, and to get great delight it fitted. Alice opened the door and found that it led into a small passage, not much larger than a rat hole. She knelt down and looked along the passage into the loveliest garden you ever saw. But as the door was so small, she could not go past into the garden. How she longed to get out of that dark hall and wander about among those beds of bright flowers and those cold fountains. But she could not even get her head through the doorway. There seemed to be no use in waiting by the little door. So she went back to the table, hoping she might find another key on it. This time she found a little bottle on it. Around the neck of the bottle there was a paper label with the words, "Drink me," beautifully printed on it in large letters. Alice ventured to taste it, and finding it very nice, she very soon finished it off. She was now only 10 inches high, and her face brightened up at the thought that she was now the right size for going through the little door into that lovely garden.